Hey guys, today we will learn simplification technique for block diagram. So if you have a system with lot of interconnected components connected in series or parallel or feedback interconnection and so on, and there are any method where we could simplify and get the overall transfer function. We will also see what is also known as signal flow graph method for determining the transfer function. So these are very small tricks which you need to learn, and I will quickly run through those tricks before we do some examples. So what is block diagram? So it is short-handed representation of system where you have each subsystem or each component represented by its transfer function, and the interconnection is captured by flow of signals from one system to the another. And well, what are the components? How do we draw the block diagram? So the blocks represent the components equivalently represented by transfer function. Arrow indicates the direction of which the signal flow. Okay, equivalently summation point to show do signals add up or do they know it is a 1 plus and a minus and so on. And take a point indicate how we branch of signals. Okay, so what is this reduction business then? So we are aiming to reduce or simplify the block diagram in order to get an overall transfer function. We do not need to really write down equation all the time and then eliminate each variable one by one. That was what we did in earlier examples, right? Then we have the block diagram representation, but then if it is a complex form, we just have to simplify it. We need to get overall transfer function. So the simplification is done by some very basic rules of block diagram algebra, and these are very simple algebraic methods where we just reduce our variable or reduce a block and so on. Just very basic thing like addition and subtraction and so on. Okay, so all the rules are derived by simply algebraic manipulation of the equation representing the blocks. Okay, so in last lecture we have seen cascade form. Okay, so if you have two system in cascade, so if two systems are in cascade, and then I think that overall function is just g1 g2. The output y is simply u g1 g2, or the transfer function is just this guy g1 into g2. This we learned in our last lecture, and this is just kind of very straightforward proof. So this is one of the basic building block which we will use. So simply if I have things in parallel, then I can just start with this, this diagram which look like this. This is a block diagram. I know that these two signals, these guys, this will be ug1, this will be ug2, and here is the summation block. So two signals will get added up and you will get output as u g1 plus minus, it will depend upon the combination, into g2. Okay, so this is very straightforward to do, and then the equivalent represent can be like this, u g1 plus minus g2. Okay, so here it is, minus sign is also there. Okay, so it will be just g1 minus g2, or it can be g1 plus g2 depending upon what sign we are taking. Okay, so it is plus, everything will be plus, and then things will be fine. So this guy on left look a little, things is bigger components, and the guy on right is something which is simplification of the block diagram, and we will again use these basic building blocks. Okay, now next is you're having, so we also studied about feedback interconnections, right? So we started with feedback interconnection. This is u as my input, this is my output signal y, and if I have a negative feedback, this is minus sign. Means it's opposite. If I'm having negative feedback, I am having plus sign. If I'm having positive feedback, I'm having minus sign. Okay, so I can still have a plus sign here, right? So this is my negative feedback. So in that case, at my output it will be positive sign. It is positive feedback. In that case, for transfer function I am having negative sign. Okay, so the lazy way to remember this is negative feedback. Here you will end up with a plus sign, and if positive feedback you will end up here with minus sign. And equivalently I can write down the entire thing as just one component here, just one single transfer function. Okay, so now some more things which we can or we could do with these block diagrams. So say I have a summation point here, and you say this as 1 and this as 2, and if I want to interchange them in a way that I want to put 1 here and 2 here. Okay, so what should not change is the output signal, right? So if I just change them arbitrarily, then what is coming out here may change. So I don't want to do that. I want to preserve my entire input output structure of the system. So what should come out here should still be A plus minus B plus minus C, depending on what is the sign of summation block here. Okay, so if I start with A, suppose I'm having summation point, I'm starting with A still goes in, but now it goes to the summation block 2, and then what is input to the summation block 2 is C over here. Then the resultant signal would be A plus minus C. Okay, then that will go all the way here, and then I have an input as B. So this is C, this is A, this is B, and I can just interchange them, and this is my summation block 2. So this is summation block will give me again, over here it's again plus minus, so it's plus minus B and the entire A plus B C. So this what I am getting. So over here my input is same, output is same. I am not changing my input to output, I am just interchanging inside my summation block. So this is my summation block 1, right? And this is very straightforward. Okay, so this is a little not tricky, but again it is a kind of easy to understand, and we will know why we are doing this kind of tricks. Is we will want to get things either in feedback form like we have seen earlier, or interconnected in parallel or in series, and these 3 formula I know very well, and these are very easy to drive and easy to handle. So all these tricks I will use to just simplify into one of these 3 configuration, right? So this is my summation point again. Okay, and then I have a block. So I aim to do here is I aim to move the summation block over here. I want to move my summation point after a block. So that is this guy move backward. This guy will go backward somewhere here. So what should happen here is that the signal should still be same. So I am having my input as u1. What doesn't changes, u1 is given to me, it is given me from outside, so I just can't change anything here. Then u2 come from here, I will say just u2 is coming from here. Okay, and what is the measure at the output is taken at this point. So if I call this as output, that would still be same, and this will be g u1 plus minus g u2, and I want to move the summation point ahead. Which means summation point should come somewhere here, and there would be g here. Okay, I will just clear it once little. So my input is going in summation block u2, correct? So let's try to do this just blindly, replace it and say see what happened. So this guy goes into u1 goes to g, so it will be like, I will just have this one as u1g. So my output will be u1g plus minus u2, which I don't want. I want is u2 should also have a g, so I will multiply g over here. So how it will look like finally? So if I will just blindly take it, g is not there, then my output is g u1 plus minus u2, which is different from my actual output. So that's how we will move a summation point after a block. Okay, next is, now if I want to do the reverse, I want to move the summation point ahead of block. Okay, again we just follow the same structure, right? u1 is given to me, u2 is coming from outside, and output should remain same, u1g plus minus u2. Okay, so this is also same, I want to even preserve what is my output, and then I want to move g to the right. So I am moving g to the right, and so let us have g here, and then I move the summation point here, and then I connect it with positive sign. Okay, and say I just directly connect this to u2 without doing any change to, and this way. So what I'm left with, so here I have u1, so my signal with this connection would be like this. This is u1, and I have u1 plus minus u2. Okay, and then comes out here is g u1 plus minus u2, but you said that what I want is u1g plus minus u2. So I have u2 is multiplied by g, which I don't want. I want u just to be itself. Okay, so therefore I add a block here, 1 by g before u2. Okay, it's it. Therefore add a block here, 1 by g. Now the signal look like a little better, right? So over here I will have g2 by means u2 by g, and here again u2 by g, so g will g cancel and I will get this output. Okay, so I will just draw it in better way, so it will look like something. So I am adding a block 1 by g. Okay, so that's exactly what happening here. Okay, now this is kind of straightforward, right? So if I have this takeoff point, I just want to put it here. I want to shift it after a block. So again I have u1 going in to a g block, and then I'm getting u1g, and I want is u1, but what I'm getting here is g is also there. If I take a point from here, it will give me u1 g, but I don't want it, so I will add a block here 1 by g, so it will give me single u1. Okay, so this is how my new block diagram will look like. Okay, so I just divide by it by g, so this kind is also straightforward to do this one. Okay, and the reverse I don't think I need to do the proof. So if I want to move this guy over here, if I want to take this guy back, I can still just move it, multiply with g, because if I'm taking it here, it is just u1, but I want is u1 into g, so I will add a block g. So these are some of very basic trick which we will use, and we will do some example later in the coming lectures. Okay, so that's all for today's lecture. Thank you.